for otter toilets, where they take it. You do not want to get your hands in these things. That muskrat comes through there. Pow! We got him.
As I get up here closer to the dry cow field, I thought to explain something real quick.
I'm going to set some snares for coyotes here too.
It's not like it just catches their foot. Once they're in it, it's lights out forever. Mink lure. This smells like beaver.
Once upon a time, when a fool thought he'd find purpose in his life along the way. Don't you run and hide from the truth you desire. Everything that lives is born away.
last night I did this hot oil treatment thing on my hair with a new thing I've never used before. And it said that you don't have to rinse it out. But I can tell by this morning it looks and feels like I really should have rinsed it out. But whatever. It's kind of shit that only happens when I'm filming. Why not? That looks nice. Well, we're into the first week of the new year. The temperatures have been in like the 30s. And it's gonna get down into the 20s. And that's not too bad for the chickens. If it gets any colder than that, I like to give them some hot cereal for their breakfast too. But this morning, I'm just gonna give them a little bit of eggshells and some of that apple core I chopped up and sprinkle that on the regular. I don't like narrating things, you guys. It's early, I can't talk good yet.
To get this guy cleaned up fast and get out of here. But the last thing I want is to run into a grizzly bear right now.
Good morning. I know, I just said the weather is in the 20s on average now, but today ended up being a little extra cold. It's 10 degrees outside, so the chickens will watch cartoons and play in their sandbox inside. I'm just kidding, that's a heater, not a TV. It won't get much warmer outside today. They won't want to go outside. Also, there's a fox I'm trying to trap who's been circling their outdoor playpen. The roof isn't totally fox-proof. Yet.
One probably fell into the fire and then it ended up causing a big...
Well, guys, it's trapping season. It's more popular around here than you might know. And Michiganders of all colors and flavors do it. I know quite a few people who have and still do. They even start bringing their kids at an early age. My nephew will join us in the next episode. Anyway, we've got 50 conibears and might put out a dozen today. This is my family's first day of the season for laying traps. The plan is to lay trap lines in at least a few different locations. Today is just one of them. In Michigan, you can trap on public state land and private property, provided that you have the owner's permission and a license for both places. Trapping is highly regulated by Michigan's Department of Natural Resources as a way of wildlife conservation and population control. Some of these animals we can only trap 2 of, others are any other amount up to unlimited. To name a few, the pine marten and bobcat are in the forest. Where there's fish, there will be otter and fox. And in the creeks, there are mink, muskrat, and beaver. And coyote. They go everywhere. If you've been with me on my channel before, you might recognize the fields around this creek. They belong to the dairy farm, who has since the 70s let my dad trap the areas that don't have cattle, dogs, or barn cats. We'll be laying traps here twice today, and I'm going to go on a rant about some random fun and not so fun facts on my way back here later. Oh, and hey, by the way, if you guys are not new here, you know how I don't usually do all these voiceovers and this amount of subtitles? It's really a pain in the ass. I don't have time for this shit. So, it's not gonna happen from here on out. I'm sorry. I know you guys like to hear me ramble, but I don't. I just want to film and be quiet and get my business done and enjoy the nature. So, try to keep up. Try to follow along. You'll figure it out. I filmed 4 hours of trapping and scouting. I wanted to pack the gist of today into one episode. They usually aren't anywhere near this long, but either way, I'm not great at explaining things. I don't know what you already know. So your questions and comments, if they're good and interesting, can help me learn what to focus my filming on as trapping season goes on. Maybe soon I'll tell you some more history, regulations, folklore, things like that. And don't worry, by the way, this is not the only thing I do all day, and not every episode will be only about fur harvesting.
There'll be the trails that are coming out of the ditch will be white paths. They'll be little, about that wide. There'll be white lines coming up out of there. Look for those coming out in here. There's the muskrats. They like to look at that. This looks like it's been dammed up. Beaver set here. Are you looking for signs?
Yes, I'm looking. Are you guys looking? We're looking for muskrat, mink,
This water should not be this high.
and maybe if we're lucky, a beaver.
Exactly.
I kinda gotta pee, but it's a pain getting these waders on and off. Next time I'm gonna wear a diaper. That's a hardcore trapping trick. You won't hear them admit to on the mainstream trapping TV networks. I ain't afraid to tell you all our dirty little secrets. Are you ready? Come on! Oh.
This is from muskrats underlying the banks. That's why a lot of farmers don't really like the muskrat. The damage they do. Is that it?
Probably, but tell it for the camera anyway.
Muskrat house.
Yep.
We might be able to get a trap and submerge it and bait the trap with an apple or something. We don't have no apples with us, but put 2 stakes down like that and put the trap to it and put it under the water, and the muskrat will come up. See, they're going right through there. Wild potato.
Cattail root.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to taste like a potato, but it's right by their house here. See how it isn't real thick? It isn't as deep right here. That's probably the guy going in the bank there. Cattail root. Use that for bait.
Where'd you say you saw them chewing on it? That part.
I think.
Alrighty.
Use this for bait.
Come on, you guys. You don't gotta be in my face all the time.
What?
I'm telling the viewers, they like it when I turn the camera around and narrate like this. But it makes me feel like they're in my bubble. And I'm not good at holding it steady. I'm gonna blame it on them.
The cow could break its leg in that tunnel, and then they're crawling up in here. It could undermine the banks, I think they call that. See this lock? That keeps it from closing up. Both of them are caught now, so I can open it up without catching my hands. Remind me to bring apple next time. We'll use it for muskrat. There's 2. That muskrat comes through there, trips that dog, pow, we got him. Okay. And then get the trap and set it over top of it, down into it. Well, I'm going to try and do it this way to make it easier for me. See, there's the house. The whole family's in there right now. And they travel through here. They come up out of there. You see where they've been traveling. Trap, stay right there. Try not to mess anything up there. You do not want to get your hands in these things. Now the safety came off it. I'm trying to get that safety back on without it springing. Just stay away from that fucking jaw. There's one of them back on. There's the other one back on. Okay, better. This whole upper thing here has to be out of the water by about that much so it goes under it. So, I had a wire on the fence. Got the hatchet.
So if he wires it to the wooden stakes, the trap won't keep slipping down under the water.
Maybe that water's going to freeze tonight and lock that trap. Maybe. Just maybe. I'll come through there before that. Okay. We're looking for coyote trap too now. Perfect. Perfect. This is where I'm going to set this couple traps right here. I don't have all this fuck around here in this shallow. Don't put that in the fucking video, please.
You're so excited. Oh, there's a good hole. Perfect hole.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here. We're going to be successful. I've trapped enough to tell you this is beautiful. We'll get mink and a beaver. We're going to get all of them. And a muskrat. This is very exciting. This is a good find.
I'm excited too.
See that right there? Something's got that banked up. There's a dam in there somewhere. But I'm good with a dam because I got a set I learned.
He brought a dozen traps, and I thought maybe we would set them all, or maybe we would just set a few. But it's pretty cold, and we do have to get back to the fort by a certain
Yeah, we got
time.
two appointments.
Yep, he's got an appointment at the VA, the Veteran Affairs Health Clinic. And I had a birthday recently, and I keep forgetting to renew my driver's license, so I got an appointment at the Secretary of State. And
Right there is the dam.
You think the dam is in there?
Well, look at the water. It's all backed up here. The dam's right up here.
You want to get out and take a closer look?
Well, I'm good. Right now, my shirt is sopping wet, and my feet have frostbite. I would say it's right here.
He thinks the beaver dam is down in there. And then we're going to have to...
Now the water goes low. Right in that tile there.
It's really hard to film from in here. Just going to have to trust... I'm just telling the viewers, they're just going to have to trust that we know what we're talking about, even if they can't see it that good.
Well, we're hoping.
We're hoping. We're thinking there's a beaver dam in there. So we got to drive...
Well, it's pretty high right here, too.
all the way back up into the Northwoods.
All the way back up to here. See, it's high here too.
And get ourselves cleaned up.
Ooh, I'm excited for tomorrow.
And then we're gonna drive back into the farmlands here, where there's a nearby town where we can do our business with our appointments, and then go back up to the fort and set more traps, get the stakes in them all ready, so that all we got to do is carry them down into the creek tomorrow when we come back. We don't have to sit on the cold bank trying to rig them up.
There's a lot of muskrat here.
I'll do the 2 custard. You still want the strawberry? Especially drinks.
big town closest to where the farm is. And I'm going to be there in a few minutes. And I am never, ever, ever telling you guys my next move again. Because it never works out. Never. Something always changes it. I told you the plan earlier about what we were going to do for today and tomorrow as far as our appointments and the trappings and stuff goes. So we get back up to the fort and I'm like, hey, we got a few hours before we got to be back into this town here. So I'm going to lay down for a little bit. I'm going to work on organizing some stuff upstairs. The upstairs of the house is my territory there. And my dad's like, you're going to make me late. You're not going to be ready in time. Blah, blah, blah. I was going to be nice and ride with you to save me some gas and keep you entertained on the way to your appointment. And you know, I'll just drive myself. It's fine. I'll just leave a little, because my appointment was an hour after his. And so I come downstairs to enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet around the time that I thought he was going to be leaving for his appointment. And what is he loading up into his truck but all the other dozen traps that we were originally going to put out today but save for tomorrow? And he's already got he made some fresh new, I'm getting into traffic here. I hate traffic. He's got the new steaks made, already put through them, all ready to put out. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I decided that I was just going to do this now rather than tonight, so you could have filmed it. And, after my appointment, I'm going to go put these out along the creek. And I was like, really? You really can't wait until tomorrow like we planned for my video? Because then I can't be there for today. He's like, yes, I'm so excited about fur trapping. He's not excited about unaliving animals, and neither am I. And I thought about maybe doing a big old long rant to help some people who don't understand what it is that we're doing here, to help them understand our perspective of things. Not just our human perspective, but the natural world's perspective around here. We're not savages. So I said, fine, just do what you want, and maybe when I get out of my appointment, if you're still out there, I'll go over there and I'll film what I can. And then tomorrow, when we check the traps, I don't know if that will be part of this episode or part of the next, but it's like, come on, guys. It's like, why are you like this? Say what you mean, and mean what you say, and do what you say you're going to do. It's that fucking simple. Anyway, I got to go into the Secretary of State office here, and I got to renew my driver's license. And I finally get a brand new picture. It's the only reason why I look this good. Buy cigarettes in my new village last night, and I had to go to 3 different gas stations because nowadays they all scan your ID. And you're like, I'm sorry, I can't override the system because your license is expired. Apparently, they don't know who I am there yet. Just wait, someday I'm gonna be famous. They'll be sorry for telling me no. Ain't nothing special to see. So, sorry. You guys can just sit in the car. As I get up here closer to the dry cow field, I thought to explain something real quick. Well, for one, there's no cows in the dry cow field right now. Because it's winter time. The farm takes them up closer to the barn. Also, you guys know how I'm not the best at explaining things in my videos, so I just don't. And how to explain this? So, you guys, if you follow my channel, you know how I kind of left the farm. I left in the sense that I moved off of it. I don't live here anymore like I was. And I thought for a while I was going to have to quit farming altogether because I was told they were going to sell the cows. They said that for many, many years. And then this year, it was like, boom, okay, we're serious, we're going to sell. I'm like, okay, when? They're like, oh, I don't know, whenever we get to it. Maybe when winter hits. Maybe in the spring. Maybe 4 months ago. And then they said, well, here, and we can't hire anybody else. No one else wants to work here and milk cows like the good old days. So if you move out, we're going to have to sell them pretty much the day that you leave. And I did not want that. I didn't want the cows to be sold. And so I stayed, and then I got mad at the management because of some mismanagement. Mismanagement with the property itself, not the animals. The animals were fine. They always were. But the mismanagement with... Gosh dang it! The mismanagement was due to issues between Farmer Joe and his dad, who both owned the farm. And it was affecting how I was able to do my job. So I called their bluff and I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. And I left. And guess what? They didn't sell the cows. Farmer Joe just started doing it when he wasn't at the other farm. You know that other farm that he had to work at down the road to pay for this farm. And yeah, they do have an indoor facility at that farm where they do stuff all year round, and they're not as busy now that the harvest season is done there, but he still has to go there a little bit every day to do some indoor stuff. And he got like at least a week off for Christmas break, and so I haven't been here in that long because he's been able to do it more and hasn't needed me. And when he has to go back to work next week, I think I am going to be milking cows a little bit more, only for the shifts that he can't do it, which is just pretty much the mornings during the week, Monday through Friday. And some of the mismanagement issues have actually been kind of resolved since I've moved out, and I think it's too soon to say if it's going to stay resolved. I don't really trust that it's going to stay resolved. I'm not going to get into any further details on what that mismanagement consisted of, because it just really doesn't matter at this point. But I just don't know how to live without cattle. So I knew for a while that I wanted to leave, so I was saving my money, and if I just want to spend the rest of the winter holed up in the fort working on some of my own mental recovery, I don't have to go back to work. I don't have to go milk the cows for money, but I want to milk the cows. So that's what's going on. I could have told the whole farm to F off and ran away and never looked back. A lot of other women in my position, probably pretty much any other woman in my position would have done so. But it gets complicated. The reason why I did not tell them to F off, number one reason is because there's 7 cattle dogs there that are kind of like children to me. The closest thing that I have ever had to children. And I want to be able to go back when I want and say hi to the dogs and make sure that they're okay. And number 2 is his family and my family have been friends for generations here. My parents used to live here on the farm. They used to rent a house here, and my dad used to trap all these cricks back then, and well, still does up until now. And you know, even though with the farm there was issues, it's like he's got a big old family and I've got extended family, and we all go way back, and I don't want to be the person that just causes drama, and I'll just be seen as a big old bitch if I sometimes it's better for your own reputation to just keep the peace and not make things worse than they have to be. So, you know, this is a town where everyone kind of helps each other, everybody relies on each other, and I just don't want to burn any more bridges than necessary. And number 3, if I stay friends with the farm to the best of my abilities, they'll probably still let me hunt, fish, forage, trap on it. I live on a 1.5 acre homestead, and I've got lots of state land around me to keep me entertained for the rest of my life, but I love this land, and I'm not here to take advantage of it. I'm here to help manage it, and that's what we're doing today. We are managing the wildlife through trapping. I hope all of that made as much sense as possible to you guys. Now, we're going to go out there and go on a little expedition to find my dad, and I'm going to shut the heck up, and we're going to enjoy all the sights and sounds of nature. That's the plan. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out. There he is.
I went from here to right there where Danny's old stakes are. I've only set 4 traps. Watch your pants. Get it. Okay. So I got 2 right here. See that one down there? Oh, wait a minute. There's another trap to your left too. See the tag right there on your left? Can you see the trap back in there? It's under the grass. I pulled the grass so it's hidden.
Pretty unfortunate. Someone put a frickin' highway right there, making all kinds of background noise, but nothing we can do about it.
I think I'm going to set some snares for coyotes here too.
Oh yeah. Right now?
No, not today. See how they've been, I didn't put a trap there, but see how it looks like something's been in there messing around?
Yep.
But right now we're just doing the exploratory. All the traps are, except for that one that you look inside the grass, they're all within the flow of the creek.
He really likes having the fun job of figuring out where to put the traps and then setting them and then being the one to check them every day. Well, hang on, I'll get into that detail in a second here. Yeah, I got a hole in my boot, so I'm gonna have to...
Put your right foot in the gate.
I know how to do this. And, me, I'm much more than the documentarian. See, he's 74 years old, and he said he might need some help with some things out here, and I said, that's fine. That's why I exist, to help. Oh, yep, there's another one. But I'm also an artist, if you can call it that. I'm going to be the one that actually does the stuff with these furs and turns them into not only a pelt, but then I'll take it one step further and turn them into something a little more usable, like mittens.
And for big bucks.
Yep, this is also a source of income. Not just for fun. I mean, I got better things to do with my life than just take apart animals and turn their fur into something for... I ain't doing that shit for free.
We could get maybe $400 for a hat.
Yeah, maybe $400 for a hat, and I'm gonna make myself some stuff too. It's not all just for money, nor is it all just for fun. I like practical projects. You guys know how I like to take care of animals and do gardening, and this is just another aspect of rural frickin' Michigan.
2 way down there that stick, 1 there, that makes 3, and the 4th one where Danny's line goes across here, we put 1 right on the line. Then the creek goes and makes a wheelie out here, comes back over there where that other trap is. See, there's another neck, but I just want to break it out. This tap will be from where we can trap to here, Then we can pick up trapping again over there, because all that's out there in Danny's. We can't go out there. There's another one we're going to go back to the expressway with. There's another one there.
Come on!
See that trail there? Coyote trail. We'll put snares in these. See how it goes? There goes one that way. One goes that way. That one goes that way. There was no cows out here, so these got to be critters.
It is a bit of a drive to come out here and check these traps all the way from the fort. But the thing with muskrats is these traps are called conibears, and it zaps them immediately. It's not like it just catches their foot. Once they're in it, it's lights out forever. And so if you leave it there long enough, maybe some predator or scavenger will find it and ruin it. So you can't let it sit out too long without checking it. But otherwise, the humane rule of thumb is to check your traps every single day, so an animal's not just stuck in it for a long period of time. But these traps, the conibears, are designed for no suffering at all. Someone is going to get in these comments and try to start an argument with me about it, which I'm just going to ignore. But I mean, I do believe in free speech. If you have a differing opinion, go ahead and put it in the comments. But I'm telling you, these traps are supposed to be lights out immediately for the muskrat.
Mud over there? Up under the grass over there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go down in the water and see if there's a hole over there. I'll have you hand me a trap.
There's signs of them digging in the banks there, needing roots. He's trying to feel for if there's a hole in there. I'm not walking in the water any more than I have to because I forgot to bring my boots that I was wearing last time. But I had this old pair with me, not realizing it had a hole in it, so one of my feet is kind of wet right now. I don't want it to get any wetter than it has to be.
Mink. Like rock piles. You put a trap right there. Right in there, that hole. And I have mink lure I'm going to put in there. I'm loading it. Okay, you got to really be careful with these. These will really hurt you. There's safeties on each spring, each side of the spring. That's a safety. That's a safety. This is called a trigger. And that's called a dog. And once you take the safeties off, she's good to fly. But we're not doing that yet. I want to get it set where I want to put it.
Mink glands. You sprinkle that in there, and the mink will think there's another mink in there. And they'll say, ooh, I'm going to go check that out. Must be a love shack in there or something. And then we've also got mink lure. This smells like beaver. Even though beaver is bigger than a mink, they'll easily take down a beaver and eat it. They're ferocious like that.
So the DNR comes along, you got to have a tag on it or you get a ticket. There's some holes going back into there. That might be beaver, it could be otter. You look for otter toilets. Where they take a shit, they have actual toilets. I haven't found one yet. But otters are fishy. I don't think there's any fish in here.
I've never seen a fish in here.
Thank you. These don't have safeties on them
Why?
because they're just a single. Trail going up underneath that stump.
Knock,
Looks
knock.
like something's been traveling through there.
Anybody home?
I mean, right up up into that stump. It looks like from here. It looks like there's a hole that goes up here. My arthritis in my wrist. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this.
I'm gonna go see what it's like over at that hole. If that hole's deep, we might be able to.
See my bait?
what I do with the.
Ready?
Hi.
And they'll come up, and I'm telling you,
Catch you by the head.
right, right on the melon.
Burn good.
I'm about to find out.
Something like that. Just look.